He's 0 for 1, but scored just after the power play had concluded. Had plenty of momentum. Muzzin fires, scores! Jake Muzzin's got his first as a Leaf.
I smoke my cigarettes to feel the burn. It's got a nice feeling, something that you burn. Just turn off the lights and burn in the dark with a dart.
So Auston Matthews is in town for 5 years.
5 years or just 5 years or maybe a little bit more?
No. Well, if you ask anyone at TSN, it's 5 years, and then he's getting on the first flight out of town. To
People don't realize that. Well, you see a lot of people freaking out online on Twitter and whatever. People don't realize that Scottsdale is not the most desirable place to play, even though he did grow up there. In 5 years,
I mean,
5 years, will they have
he
a
just wants
team?
to
Or,
play.
I don't know.
I don't know. He might be going to Quebec City.
Yeah. So I don't know what episode we're at now, but Will and Rye On Ice podcast. I realize we don't say our name enough. You're Rye, I'm Will.
Yeah,
And,
I am Rye.
Yeah, we've been really busy. Life's crazy again. Yeah, we're always really busy.
Yeah, again.
It's a season of busy in season 2.
It is.
Honestly, it is. We're all over the map.
It was season 1 was in Barry's Bay for me, and it was the season of anything but covering council fires me up. So let's record 4 times a week.
Yeah. I might have. Well, I got kind of some exciting personal news that I won't share just yet, but I might have covered my last council meeting. Yeah.
Hello.
Well, we'll get into that at a different time. Yeah, so I'm actually watching the Habs game live here. So hopefully.
Keep us updated.
Yeah, I will. And it's going to be really great when this comes out, when it's all old news. But we're 8 minutes in, it's scoreless, so. Too bad we're not live. That'd be awesome. Oh.
I wish we could.
Gallagher just scored. Sorry, I spoke too soon. 20th.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Get on your phone, everyone who's listening, and tweet it out. Breaking news:
Last
Gallagher
night.
scored.
So,
Well, some people might listen to this on Friday. 4 days.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, you never know. Yeah, we're not timely, are we?
We aren't timely, so we can't expect the regular shows to be either.
By the way, the intro, which we personally didn't hear yet, but that was a request from my brother. He liked the Glorius Sons, that song "White Noise." That's what it was, and then the specific lyric that he liked that I have underlined. Yeah,
Are we saying it?
He likes it.
It's to turn off the lights and burn in the dark with a dart.
I find it funny. I mean, I don't smoke.
I find it funny too. I like, you know how big of a fan I am of the band, and like how many times I've listened to it. It took me forever to realize that was even being said.
Yeah, I didn't even realize. Yeah, because he was up here a couple weekends ago, and he was saying we got to get that on the podcast to open it up. We got a lot of feedback on the last podcast intro too, so a lot of positive feedback. People like that, so try to do that again moving forward. We used to do that a little bit straight away when I started editing a little bit, because sometimes I don't know how to do things apparently. Speaking of well, not really speaking of, but you're still, so Riley's still with the Petes right now, and he had a unique experience the other day. You wanna give the fans what they want to hear?
Yeah, beautiful segue. That's tech right there.
Unreal.
Yeah. So for those of you who might be listening for the first time, I'm a sales and marketing intern with the Petes, which really isn't just strictly sales and marketing. It's basically everything. So like, I'm working on a media guide right now. Well, I basically finished it. I'm keeping it up to date. I'm producing content for the website, and on top of selling flex packs or helping sell flex packs and season tickets and stuff like that, and game ops. I'm basically doing everything. But last Wednesday, our PA announcer, he went down with lost voice. Well, he lost his voice, and everyone, our game ops girl was having a rough go of it because our Pink in the Rink game was that coming Saturday, so it's a busy enough game late week for her. But we didn't have a PA announcer, and I went, sure, I'll do it. So I had about like 4 hours, maybe 3 hours to like read the entire 3 hours worth of script that I had to know, and then went for it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. There's a lot of reading. I was also sick at the time, so it was tough. But
Are they aware of your radio kind of journalism background too?
yeah, that's why they've got me like writing, and
Okay.
I've told them that I've been a journalist and I majored. I did TV for my last year. I tell everyone I majored.
That sounds better.
I know it's better than saying they made you pick.
Yeah, so. I said I think I did it in TV and radio, which is a lot different than what I do right now, because I write all day, every day.
Yeah.
However.
Yeah. But no, it was such a crazy experience. I messed up a few times, just with our power play and our penalty kill is sponsored.
Yeah.
So I have to say like or Peterborough penalty number 25, Ryan Merkley, 2 minutes for tripping at whatever time. And I'll say this power play is brought to you by, or this penalty kill is brought to you by Culligan Water. But the way they're written on the script, I messed it up, and some Instagram account caught a video of it and freaking put it out there of all my screw ups.
He didn't say anything bad, did he? I didn't notice.
Did he say anything? Like he said I should have been fired after that performance.
Yeah.
For 5/8. But no, that wasn't that bad. Like, I mean, it kind of rattled me at first, but then I'm like, honestly, like, there's a pretty good chance this guy can't even string a sentence together. So I'm not that upset.
He has no followers. He has no likes on Instagram. Not that I judge people by their.
No, I think he's got like 15,000.
Oh, really?
Too, which is part of the reason why. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I was rattled.
Well, I don't judge people by what they are on social media anyway. I think I'm a decent person, and I only have like 309 followers on Twitter.
Yeah. Here, let me find official hockey post. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say that.
It's sad.
Well. They got 830. They get 833 followers.
Oh, not too bad then.
No, but yeah, I haven't listened to it yet because I don't want to know what I messed up. But everyone told me they said it was during the power play, and I go, okay, well, I definitely know what I messed up then, but I just don't want to hear it. But no, once I got more into it, like the longer the game went on, the more comfortable I got with it. But like reading on radio and stuff like that, it's nerve-wracking, obviously.
You're goddamn right.
But it's a lot. I find it's a lot more nerve-wracking when you're doing it, but then there's also 3,000 people staring at you.
Yep. I can see. I used to get nervous a little bit. I remember when I started doing it my first year. I was kind of helping out. You were the grade ahead of me, so I was kind of putting in some extra reps just to see if I was something I liked and something that I could get good at, pursue eventually. And apparently not. But anyways, I remember how nerve-wracking it was for me, like the first few times. And I don't know how many people listened to that college radio station, but they actually had some tunes.
I don't know.
They played good tunes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a lot of fun.
That sounds cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I had to be the DJ the next game, which was also...
That's a riot.
The DJ was a lot more stressful than the PA announcer, to be totally honest.
Really, eh?
Yeah, because our ad reads all have like themed music.
Oh, okay.
So I gotta find them, and then I have to be like quick with turning the volume up and making sure the PA announcer's mic's on and off. And
yeah, that wouldn't be a job for me, I'll tell you.
No, it was a learn as you go.
Right.
But the guy I was working with was somewhat helpful.
Don't sewer him.
No, he was helpful. He's not going to, so never mind me. But he was helpful. What happened was we had like people that for our Pink in the Rink game, which was our second highest attendance ever in Pete's history. Not a big deal, but he he had to do the video board, a regular DJ, because like a bunch of staff members were like not there.
Oh God.
So I had to, yeah. So well, like our game ops volunteer staff.
So many people work for an OHL team. It's unbelievable.
You know, you wouldn't even know. Like I meet someone new basically every day. Like our like Pete's like business operations office is like 10 people, but then we've got like 15 like game ops volunteers, and then we have people who sell 50/50, the booster club, and then we got people who do the jersey raffle, and then then obviously there's like coaching staff and all that stuff, and then there's people up in the audio video booth, and our like people who are in the penalty box, like the officials and timekeepers, and it's insane.
It must be a neat experience for you too.
But yeah, well, I'm getting to do everything. Like so, Wednesday, I was the PA announcer. If you haven't seen it, go on my Instagram account. I posted videos of me doing it if you want to hear it. Wednesday I was PA announcer. Thursday I was helping sell Flex Pack tickets. Friday I was stuffing envelopes for season ticket renewals. Saturday I was Roger the mascot and the DJ. Sunday I had off. Yesterday I'm writing an article for the website. Like, I'm not doing anything the same
That's good.
It's
Lots
unreal.
of hands-on stuff.
But yeah, I feel like I've talked too much about it. We're 11 minutes in, but I don't want to bore the crowd with my Pete's stuff. But it's fun, and the team, like, we're in the heat of a playoff race right now. It's a tight Eastern Conference where it's like 4 points separating 4th place to 9th place. So
nice.
You win a game. You win a game, you move up to 4th. You lose a game, you fall down to 9th. So it's wild. So they've got it. We got 8 home games left starting Thursday with Ottawa. So
it's wrapping up quick, hey man.
Yeah, well, frig, we're March 16th, our last game.
Coming, just over a month away.
Crazy schedule too. We got Ottawa, Barrie, we got London, Niagara coming into town. We got Ottawa again, Sudbury. So all teams were in the 100th. So.
Yeah, I was at another London Knights game the other night too, and they played pretty well. Actually, it was London against Barrie, and Barrie gave up like 56 shots, and then they actually took London overtime. But anyways, we should probably touch on the Auston Matthews contract that he signed today, and then we'll talk a little bit about what Jake Muzzin, the Jake Muzzin acquisition, I should say too.
Yeah, what do you want to start with, Auston?
Yeah, Auston. Because it's fresh.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy that I'm kind of happy it's all said and done. I'm really worried about what's going to happen with Marner. But I guess today we should just focus on the positive and that we got him locked up for 5 years. 11.634. Big fan of that number. I'm glad that they signed him for less term. I think he loves being in Toronto, and I think if they give him a C, that'll make him want to stay even more after the 5 years. But my mom made a pretty good point. Like, they've got him locked up for 5 years. He's going to establish himself here. Probably going to meet a girl from Toronto. Like, get married here. Like, you know, he's probably going to have more reasons to stay than to leave.
Yeah.
After that 5 years gone, and a lot can change in 5 years.
For sure.
Too, right?
5.
Like, sure, he'll be 26 or whatever, right? But
5 years is an eternity in the sports world, man.
You also have to consider, like, that at that point you're getting to the end of JT's contract.
JT would have in 5 years. Money. He'd have 2 years left. Well, I guess.
Well, including this year, he'd have 1 year left. So, yeah, it's just the question now is Marner, right? What's going to happen with him? He thinks 11.364 sounds pretty good, probably, right? But not only is he not the same as Auston Matthews, he's not gotta like fit in under that.
Yeah.
So. And
I think Marner is almost every bit as worth it to the Leafs as Matthews is. You know, like the Kane and Taves comparison. But I don't know what they're gonna get him at. You know, he's a completely different player. but he can change the game just as much as Matthews. And if you look at their points,
Yeah, well, Marner is my favorite
Yeah.
player on the team. Like, don't get me wrong.
and
But
if you look,
I don't know.
Marner's gonna have a strong case too moving forward. But again, today's about Matthews, and it's good that they locked him up. I mean, it's not like they weren't gonna lock him up. I mean, but I wanted to run this by you. So his AAV, if you will, annual average salary. I guess it's AAV. I don't know value. Annual average.
Annual average value.
Yeah. So whatever that means, and then so it's 11.634 million. So somebody tweeted to Tim and Sid. I watched Tim and Sid at the gym a little bit, and they tweeted to Tim and Sid, and they said it stands for the 11. So you take it starts with the 1. He was drafted first overall. The next two numbers are 16 in 2016, and then 3-4 is his number.
That's wild.
Superstitious, maybe, eh?
Yeah.
Remember the Sid's deal that he's on is like 8-7, 8-7, 8-7.
Yeah.
Sid's crazy though.
Yeah, that's funny, man.
I picked up a Penguins game, speaking of Sid, the other day, and it's just unbelievable the level he still plays at. It's just
he's good, man. He's unreal. And he's gonna play as long as he wants too.
Yep, pretty much.
His contract's got to be coming up soon, though.
I think he's got 3 years left.
No, really?
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like an eternity ago that he signed that. I'm gonna double check that, but
I'm looking right now.
Like, check over at our friends at Cap Friendly, and but yeah, him and Malkin signed their deals like, God, it feels like forever ago.
I would honestly say he's probably got 2 years left, in my opinion.
Yeah, I very well could. And imagine
that was his first deal, was it not? Well, like, think about it.
Well, he came off entry level, and he's 32. But deals back then could be a bit longer than deals now. Remember?
12. It was 12 years.
Oh, okay.
It's 8.7 till 2025.
2020. He's got a lot more years left.
He's only halfway through it.
That's such a bargain. Oh. If you get arguably the best player in the game, and you have him for under like a reasonable cap hit at 8.7 million for 12 years. Part of that is Sidney Crosby can make money doing anything he wants off the ice, and he's that superstitious that he probably wouldn't want to make any more than 8.7 anyway.
Yeah.
Because I think Malkin makes like 9.
Malkin's 7.1, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. Huh.
I think that's the whole deal.
That's funny.
Let me look.
Yeah, I'm just looking here. Matthews, 11.634.
Oh, it is 9.5.
9.5? That's still a good deal.
I feel like he made 7.1 at one point, though.
He could have. Maybe 1 year that was his AAV, or his salary earning. Doesn't matter. What was something else I wanted to ask you about? Oh yeah, just about Jake Muzzin. What do you think of his game? I mean, it's only been 2 games I think they've played since he's been brought in, and going the other way to LA was Carl Grundstrom, Sean Dursey, the defenseman, and a first-round pick in 2019, which is going to be a probably high 20s pick. So, what did you think of that?
I'm pretty happy about it. He adds a lot of toughness to the group, especially at back end that gets pushed around a lot. Yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, everyone's saying maybe they gave up a little too much for him, but he's a rental player with a year on top of it. Mm-hmm. But there's a possibility he'll stay in Toronto, and if they could get him at the same number at a 4 million, that'd be unreal too. But I don't know how likely that is. But
he's got. So they have this run with him, and then they have next year, right?
Yeah.
So so you get 2 runs with him. And then,
yeah, and I mean, like, that's kind of what you got to do now. It's not like the Toronto fan base and media have this mindset of we got to keep building for the future, but you're in the win mountain now mode. Mm-hmm. Like, this is the team that we are gonna like go on runs with if we end up winning a cup, right?
Well,
So you can't be going, well, what about Sean Dursey? And he could pan out in about 7-8 years when he's 23. You never know.
Yeah.
Like you can't be living like that. Like, you gotta
I
realize
agree.
that this is kind of it now.
Maybe down the road it might. It might. So what if LA wins the deal down the road and they got the better prospects? Who cares? If the Leafs win the cup this year or next with Muzzin in their lineup and he helps them, that's a win-win situation then, because it's two teams going two different directions, and it's possible for both teams to win a trade. You just have to look at it from a different point of view. Like right now, I'm just thinking of the just recently, like the Montreal Domi and Galchenyuk trade. Right now, it is exactly what Galchenyuk needed, was a change of scenery, and he's fitting in a little bit better than he was at the beginning, but he was hurt, and he's starting to produce, and Domi fits in just right. So that's a win-win. So even if it's futures, and and Jersey, to me, he looks like a player, and I don't know, like, I think it's going to be a win-win down the road, and
you also got to consider, like, Jersey's right now, he's 18. Who knows what he could be, right?
Yep.
Like, especially he's 18 and he's playing well in junior, like, or 19, I guess he's 19, right?
Yeah.
Grundstrom, where's he fitting in this lineup?
Third line
of forwards. And then first round picks, like, we're not in rebuild mode anymore.
Yeah.
The pick's going to be in the in all likelihood, the pick's going to be 25 or lower, right?
Yep.
So,
and
it's not like you're giving up the 8th overall pick or the top 10 pick. Like, you're giving top 25 or 25 or lower, right? I don't know. I think it's something you got to do. This is kind of like, you know what, they would have. It was like a no-win situation for Dude. This is kind of the way social media and fan bases work right now. He could have not done anything, and people would have been, "What the hell are you doing?" And then he does something, and people are like, "What the hell are you doing?" So
that's it. Yeah, I mean, the way social media works, you can't really win a trade anymore.
No.
And you talked about his physical aspect, but Muzzin's a guy who can chip in 30 points, and
he got a goal last night. He had 3 points last night.
Yeah, so that's good too. I mean, if he's getting in on the offense and he's helping Riley, and Riley moved over to the right side, now Muzzin's playing on his most comfortable side. But Riley's, to me, he seems like a player that would just adapt.
Yeah,
he's a good enough player that I think that situation's not going to be bad for him moving forward.
And you know what? I think we talked about this on a previous podcast, but I'll bring it up again. Remember when we were talking about Morgan Riley and how well Ron Hainsey was able to develop him, Morgan Riley, as a defenseman? And now I said, now we need someone like that for Travis Dermott. Oh, this works out beautifully, because you bring in Muzzin now plays with Riley. You bump Hainsey down to that third pairing, and he can play with Dermott, and Dermott can develop a little bit more, right? Like, it's all positive. I think it's a great trade, and if anybody, you got Ozhiganov out of your lineup, who probably won't be back next year. He's on a 1-year deal, if I'm correct.
Yep.
And the Leafs probably aren't going to offer him big money. He'll go back to the KHL. But
I think Calle Rosen should be playing an Ozhiganov spot, but Babcock probably, I guess, thinks otherwise, because Rosen.
Him or Hall, Justin Hall.
Yeah, those guys are. Well, Hall's not as offensively gifted, but Rosen's a player. Like, I think, he's a pretty good player.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though. Like, Hall's a big defenseman who can shove you around. Like, we do have. It is nice to have an offensive defenseman, but we've got an abundance of those, right? Like.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'd be nice to have someone like a Muzzin who, well, Muzzin can contribute too, but you know what I mean. Someone who can stay steady on the back end, but. I think it does good things for Dermott, because now he's not playing with someone who doesn't really know what he's doing. He's got someone who's developed, and it's good for Hainsey because he's playing less minutes now. It's good for Morgan Riley because he's got a solid partner, and then he's just got that second pairing of Gardner and Zaitsev. But I mean, I think it's a good deal. I think all around.
Yeah, depth on D doesn't hurt, and that's what they needed. They might add another body there too. You never know. trade deadline's not too far away now. Maybe we'll touch on that a little bit. But I just wanted to talk about the Habs recently. So they're kind of way ahead of schedule for me. I mean, I remember talking at the start of the year. I didn't really have high hopes. I was just looking forward to the future. I mean, under a new sort of regime that Julian has really changed, and his staff has really changed the way the team plays, and they're really quick. And right now they're kind of on a roll. They gave up a tough loss against New Jersey the other night in overtime, but they still picked up a point. And then the next night, I mean, they played a much weaker team in Edmonton, who has virtually no depth. But they still picked up the win and fought them off. And right now they're up 3-0 on Anaheim. Again, not a very good team, but they're scoring goals. They play so fast. Their defense is, I mean, there's holes on D obviously, but like they don't have that bona fide top pairing left defenseman. They have Shea Weber on the right side, and then Petrie on the second pairing on the right side. Yeah. So ideally that would be an area of upgrade. I don't think you necessarily have to do it this year. You could look in the off season, but again, I wouldn't want them to overpay for anyone or sell some of the assets that they've accumulated so far. Like futures, like prospects and picks, but a lot of their success is due to the performance of Jesperi Kotkaniemi, the 18-year-old center who plays on what's pretty much their third line. This kid, I don't know if you've watched him recently.
I saw him a bit on Sunday.
So he got a little bit roasted by TSN's Gord Miller on Montreal radio like a couple weeks ago. Since then, he's been on fire. Like he scored again tonight. I think he has a goal. Yeah, he just has a goal tonight. He had a goal last game, and I think an assist the game before. So now he's actually scoring. He's up to 9 goals, 26 points now. Yeah. I mean, it's not a lot, but he's 18 years old, and a lot of people had him written off as a player that was probably better to play in Finland. Yeah, But looking at him, I wasn't sure if he was going to be like a second line center moving forward or like maybe a 1. But looking at him now, I know he's going to be a 1. And it just it's really refreshing to finally have that center, and Domi's filled in pretty well at center, and Deno is what he is. Like he's a good two-way force, but he puts up some points too. So right now, they're looking pretty good. I mean, the future's looking good, but right now they're in a playoff spot. If they win tonight, so Tampa Bay's first in the Atlantic, but nobody's catching them. But it'll be if they win tonight, it's their 30th win, and that'll put them 1 point back of the Leafs. So they're right ahead of Boston. Boston's the first wild card with 63 points. This might change all overnight, so don't listen to me all that much. But yeah, they're right in like the thick of things with the Leafs. And I don't know if the playoffs started today. I think it would be Habs Leafs, wouldn't it?
I think it is. That's what it was on the weekend when I last checked.
Wouldn't that be something, eh?
Oh boy.
I don't really want it. Like, it would be nice to see in my lifetime, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. It would be a good series. I mean, it would be a fast series. And I don't know. Like Montreal's matchup, they'd probably be better to play Tampa Bay. They seem to play pretty well against Tampa, and then recently they haven't played that well against Toronto. I mean, I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm not really too concerned about them getting into the playoffs. It's just the matchup they're gonna get, and you never know. They could surprise some teams, like they've surprised me thus far. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Just about Kotkaniemi, I've been really impressed with him. It just blows my mind to finally have a centerman. You know what that feels like. I mean, well, you had Sundin, and then there were some years where, the Leafs were just plugging holes with like Bozak and what have you. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, you have this franchise center just falls in your lap with Matthews, and then Kotkaniemi's not at that level. Yeah. But he's every bit as important to Montreal right now as Matthews is to the Leafs, even though he's not quite there yet. What did you think of the just about the trade deadline? What do you think the Blue Jackets are going to be doing with Panarin?
I think they're Yeah, you're right, Panarin. I think they're going to try to hold out hope.
So keep him, and what do you think of the goalie, Bobrovsky?
Well, where is Columbus right now? Are they in a spot?
Yeah, they're in the last spot. They're with 59 points.
I think they got to keep them, do they not? What do you think?
Buffalo's 3 points back.
I think they got to keep them. I think they're definitely keeping Panarin. I think they're definitely keeping. Oh. Think of a team that's in a playoff hunt right now. Is there any teams that are in a playoff hunt that really need a goalie?
Philly.
Not really. Well, but they're riding Carter Hart right now.
Yeah, he's got them into a nice spot too. Like they're only 5 points back, which isn't much.
Yeah. Where is Philly?
Philly's
still 5 points out, but
yeah. And then Buffalo. Buffalo wouldn't be a bad spot for Bobrovsky, but I don't think he'd stay there. I also
don't think Columbus will trade their goalie in a guy that's going to help them on a playoff run to a team that's chasing them, right?
Yeah, that's right. The one thing I did see yesterday was a guy made a good point. He said if there is a trade to be made and Bobrovsky was going to be traded to the Florida Panthers, because that's where the rumor is. Like he's probably going to sign there in the off season.
Yeah.
Well, I assume everyone kind of assumes that he's going to sign in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
But now the Panthers have Derek Brassard, that they acquired from Pittsburgh, and Columbus has interest in Brassard, bringing Brassard in. So they said maybe a deal could be worked out where, because if Florida acquires Bobrovsky now, then they can sign him to an 8-year extension at free agency.
Mm-hmm.
But if they let him hit the open market, then it's 7. That's the max.
Well, that could be a leveraging point for Columbus after the season, where they could try to make a deal and try to get something for him. If they know for sure he's not going to stay, then they could try to make a trade with the team. So then it might be a stretch, but try to make some sort of a deal with the team, knowing that you can get that extra year on top of the salary, right, on the top of the deal.
Yeah, and Bobrovsky's a hell of a goalie. Giving him an 8-year deal, I'd be a bit scared, just a bit.
Yeah.
But because he hasn't had a great year.
Well, how old is he? Like he's got to be in his late 20s, no?
I think he's 30.
Yeah, like he'll be 38 at the end of that deal.
Yeah, that's tough.
If I'm Florida, I'm waiting it out then for sure and signing him to just 7.
7.
Biting the bullet in the final 2 years. Biting the bullet in 2 years, or like in the final 2 or 3 years of the deal, is probably a lot better than biting the bullet in the final 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's a good point. I just saw TSN just put up here on the screen. In the previous 12 games, Kotkaniemi was a -1, and he had 0 goals, playing 13 minutes, 4 seconds, averaging.
Yeah.
And then in the last 9, he's a +4 with 5 goals, playing over 15 minutes a night. He's getting first power play time too, so that's probably helping him out. Anyways, yeah, that situation with Bobrovsky it'll play itself out. There's a couple there's a lot out there. Like for a trade deadline, like there's a lot of talk, but I hope it's not too much talk because I kind of like the movement at the deadline.
Yeah.
I like the idea, and the boys at TSN and Sportsnet really like when there's movement at the deadline.
Yeah, especially on the day between 9 and 5 p.m.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. I was gonna say I don't really have anything else I wanted to talk about.
No, I think that's good. Thanks everyone for listening. Sea Giant. I am maybe considering, even though I'm an unpaid intern, taking a look at Sea Giant to watch Jonathan Mayer perform in the big city of Toronto. I know our buddy Cam Kennedy, who we have teased, will join our podcast for the last 6 weeks. I totally forgot about him today.
Me too. Thank God I did.
No, I mean it's better for everyone, really.
When you buy those, if you do buy those concert tickets, what's the promo code you're gonna use?
We should get our promo code changed to like Cam Kennedy the Idiot or something. But
that's so long. So it's
you buy tickets at Sea Giant, use promo code Cam Kennedy is an idiot.
You're frigged.
No, it's Will and Rye.
WILLANDRYE. Use that, buy tickets, go to concerts, go to games, and we'll talk to you when we talk to you.
Yeah, and again, I say this every week at the end. If you're at a Pete's game and you listen to us, come say hi. I'm the guy with the good hair walking around. I got the longest hair on the team, not including the girls. So.
And the mascot dog.
Roger.
If you see
Roger.
the mascot, say hi, even though it might not be Riley in there.
There's a pretty good chance it's not going to be me on a game night, but come say hi anyway.
All right, we'll talk to you.
All right, thanks everyone.
There's always something to hide. There's always someone to lead on with you, an obligate to rewind. Evidently proved that I didn't need you. She said, oh please, you're obsessed. I said she looked overdressed. She definitely didn't like that, no. You see, I'm feeling like it's put on when you say you don't need me and you want nothing.